and a water, American Water Company.
Okay, you're on.
You
All
have
right.
to do this.
We're going to call this emergency meeting to order. Roll call, Jane.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Here.
Rick Van Winkle.
Here.
Dallas Abrams.
Here.
Earl Mullins.
Here.
Joe Bartle.
Here.
Gene Davies.
Okay, the purpose of calling this meeting is that the ordinance that we put into effect at our monthly meeting on the 6th, we found out after we did it had some flaws into it and wasn't correctly done. Therefore, I need a motion to rescind that ordinance.
I make a motion, we rescind ordinance 2011-11.
Second. Roll call.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Dallas Abrams.
Here.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Now, after saying that, we have a new, this would be a resolution, correct?
Yes.
That came from a prosecuting attorney of the Preble County and has correctly done what needs to be done. Is that the way I want to say it? Yeah. And I'll go ahead and read that now. Resolution 2011-04. Whereas the Preble County, Ohio has imposed a county-wide hotel tax pursuant to section 5739.09A1 of the revised code, and thus the Village of New Paris is not wholly or partially located in a county with a hotel tax, and whereas it is in the best interest of the citizens of the Village of New Paris for hotel tax to be imposed in the village in the amount of 3%, and whereas half of any such additional tax pursuant to revised code 5739.09B1 must be placed in the general fund for any lawful use, and half must be placed in a convention and visitors bureau fund to be spent solely on contributions to the operation of any such bureau formed and operating within Preble County. Therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to section 5739.09B1, a hotel tax, the amount of 3% is hereby levied in all transactions within the geographical limits of the Village of New Paris, by thus lodging by a hotel is furnished to transient guests, and it is further resolved that there is hereby created a convention and visitor bureau fund, and it is further resolved that 50% of the tax proceeds received from the tax imposed herein be placed in said convention and visitor bureau's fund to be used solely to contribute to the operation of any convention and visitor bureau currently operating in Preble County, or to be formed and operated in the future. The convention and visitors bureau that the Village of New Paris selects must enter into a contract executed by both parties and revisited on an annual basis. And it is further resolved that the other 50% of the tax proceeds received from the tax imposed herein by deposited in the general fund to be used for any lawful purpose. And it is further resolved that any definition of terms is to be resolved by reference to chapter 5739 of the revised code. And it is further resolved that this tax will begin to be collected the first of the month following the Village of New Paris' selection of the convention and visitor bureaus and signing of the contract.
I'd like to make, you need a motion to
Well,
pass.
any discussion on this?
I have a question.
No, I don't have any.
I thought you was gonna make it 6%.
That's
Wait a
there's
minute.
additional.
Oh, okay.
This is one, the other is the other.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the way we got to do it.
Okay, do it two several times.
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2011-04.
I second it.
Oh, and I also would like to make a motion to waive the 3 reading rule and declare it an emergency.
I'll second that also. Roll call.
Dallas Abrams.
Here.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, that being done. The next is resolution 2011-05. is a resolution levying a 3% lodging excise tax pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Title LB 11 Taxation, Section 573908, municipal or township excise lodging taxes in the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio. Whereas Ohio Revised Code 5739.08 authorizes a municipal corporation to levy an excise tax for any lawful purpose not to exceed 3% on transactions by which lodging by a hotel is to be furnished to transient guests, whereas the village finds it beneficial for the overall health, safety, and welfare of the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, to increase revenue for enacting a hotel lodging excise tax, and whereas it is the intent of this resolution to hereby enact an excise tax on all hotel transactions occurring in the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio. Whereas the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio is not similarly enacted such tax, and whereas the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio now wishes to enact such tax. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, that Section 1, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 5739.08, a lodging excise tax of 3% is hereby levied on all transactions by which lodging is or is to be furnished to transient guests by a hotel located in the village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio. Section 2. As used in this ordinance, hotel means any hotel, motel, tourist home, bed and breakfast, or other establishment kept, used, maintained, advertised, or held out to the public to be a place where sleeping accommodations are offered to guests, regardless of size or number of rooms used to accommodate guests, whether such rooms are in one or several structures. The definition of this hotel used in this ordinance is independent from and has no effect upon other definitions of the term hotel used elsewhere in the village of New Paris documents and/or legislation, particularly zoning and property maintenance codes. Section 3. The tax levied hereunder shall be paid monthly for the preceding month on or before the 31st day of each month, along with remittance of the amount of lodging excise tax due for the preceding month. The owner or person in charge of each hotel shall also remit a written return in such form as the village finance director or village clerk may prescribe, showing the amount of transactions in the preceding year and other information necessary to accurately determine the amount of tax due. Any taxpayer who fails to remit timely payment of a tax owed pursuant to this ordinance shall be assessed a one-time penalty, $100. Each month shall be considered a separate taxable period and shall subject the taxpayer to a separate $100 penalty for the involved period. Section 4. Finance director, village clerk, shall audit each return and in his or her discretion may conduct or cause to be conducted an audit of the book and records of the taxpayer. The finance director, the village clerk, shall give the taxpayer 30 days written notice of the date, time, and place of an audit of books and records. Section 5. Unless this determination above is appealed to the New Paris Village Council as provided in Section 6 of this ordinance, any additional tax determined by the finance director, village clerk, to be due either by correcting errors in the return of as the result of an audit shall be paid within 30 days following written notice to the taxpayer of the amount due. Section 6, a taxpayer may appeal the finance director, village clerk, determination of a tax due to the village, to the New Paris Village Council by filing with the finance director or village clerk a written notice of intention to appeal within 30 days after the date of notice of the amount of tax due. The appeal shall be heard by the New Paris Village Council at their next regular council meeting. Section 7. All money received pursuant to this ordinance shall be deposited into the general fund. Section 8. All or parts of any ordinance in conflict with this are hereby repealed. Section 9. It is found that all formal actions of this New Paris Village Council concerned and relating to the adoption of this ordinance were adopted at an open meeting of this New Paris Village Council, and that all deliberations of this council that resulted in this formal action We're in this meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code and the rules of the New Paris Village Council. Section 10, the New Paris Village Council of Trumbull County has named, well, we have it, Jack, has named
Cross that out.
Why can't you name it now?
Will name.
Give it to the chamber of commerce.
well, I guess we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Ohio has named the New Paris Chamber of Commerce as the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Section 11, this ordinance will be enacted after all that pertains to funding and setting up of collections, office works, plus negotiating a contract with the New Paris Area Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? And I need a motion to pass resolution 2011-05
So moved.
Second.
with corrections.
With corrections, yeah, because
You,
some of it has ordinance, it should be a resolution.
pass them with the corrections.
Yes.
Okay.
So moved.
Roll call.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Darrell Favors.
Yes.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Now,
Do-
we still want to do this, so we
Do
should.
you want to do the 3 reading rule on that? You don't
Absolutely,
have
yes.
to. Okay, I make a motion that we waive the 3 reading rule and declare it an emergency. Resolution 2011-05.
Second.
Roll call.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Darrell Favors.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Even though we named that in this, I think we should still go ahead and do this one also, because that gives opens the door and gives us our,
You need a motion to name the chamber?
let me read this first.
Okay.
Resolution 2011-06. A resolution to negotiate a contract for funding of lodging taxes with the New Paris Chamber of Commerce as the Convention and Visitors Bureau for the Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio. Whereas the Village Council of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio will negotiate with the New Paris Chamber of Commerce to provide funding for the Convention and Visitors Bureau from the 3% lodging tax, excise tax pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Section 5739.09 and Section 5739.08, an additional 3% and or both lodging excise taxes an equal amount for both a 6% tax on excise lodging taxes if the village council so chooses to enact both lodging excise taxes. Now therefore be it resolved by the Village Council of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, Section A, the Village Council of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio will enter into and resolve negotiations of a contract with the New Paris Chamber of Commerce.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Darrell
Read the
Favors.
name.
Now, Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Joe Bartle.
Yes. Okay.
No, wait.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I need a motion to waive the 3 reading rule and declare this an emergency.
So moved.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Darrell Favors.
Yes.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
That concludes business. No other business or nothing else to talk about,
Don't have
which
to-
we can anyway. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll call.
Earl Mullins.
Yes.
Darrell Favors.
Yes.
Rick Van Winkle.
Yes.
Joe Bartle.
Yes.
Mary Jane Thomas.
Yes.
Done.